Good morning, students. You all are welcome to this online class. Now we are again here for the same chapter 1, the fundamental unit of life. Now let us recapitulate what we have studied in this chapter in the previous session. What we have studied in the previous session, we have studied about the cell wall, its structure, its function, and one of the most important term, that is plasmolysis, deplasmolysis. And what are the different parts of the cell wall consist of, we have studied. Now in this session we are going to study about the nucleus. In the previous class also, class 8th, you have studied about the nucleus, and in this class also we are going to study about the nucleus and its structure, its function in detail, what we have studied in class 8. So let us begin the session. Let us start with the nucleus. What is nucleus? Nucleus is the organelle found in most eukaryotic cell. Again here the exception is there, RBC, mammalian RBC, nucleus is not present. Now nucleus is what? Nucleus is present in eukaryotic cell. We have studied in prokaryotic and eukaryotic. It is present in the prokaryotic also. So it is present in prokaryotic cell and it is also present in eukaryotic. What is the difference? We have studied in prokaryotic cell it is not membrane bounded, and in eukaryotic cell it is membrane bounded. Now again the nucleus is present in both. Both means in plant cell and in animal cell. In animal cell it is located at the center. Center means at the central position, okay, at the middle of the cell. Whereas in plant cell it is present or it is located at the peripheral region. Peripheral region means what? If this is the nucleus, if this is the cell, so in case of animal cell it is present at this central location, so this is called as central position. But in case of plant cell it is present at this position, and at the center what is present? Vacuole is present. In plant cell at the center what is present? Vacuole is present. And at the peripheral means sidewise, this is the walls. So near this wall this nucleus is present. Near this wall the nucleus is present in case of plant cell. So this location is called as peripheral region or peripheral location. So you all get that? In case of animal cell nucleus is present at the center, and in case of plant cell it is present at the peripheral region. Now in case of prokaryotic, we have discussed prokaryotic, the cell do not have organized nucleus. Organized nucleus means nuclear envelope is not present, nuclear membrane is not present, okay. And when the whatever the genetic material is there, it is just embedded in the nucleoplasms in the scattered form. So that is called as nucleoid. That is called as nucleoid in case of the prokaryotic cell. Now nucleus is the largest and most important part of eukaryotic cell, because all the activity of the cell, it is also called as the master of the cell. All the activity of the cell is controlled by what? By the nucleus. So it is the most important part of the eukaryotic cell. Now nucleus contains the hereditary information. Nucleus contains the hereditary information to control all the activities as well as transform information from one generation to another generation. How it contains the hereditary information? Inside the nucleus, what is present? Chromatin thread. Inside the nucleus, chromatin thread is present. Now, so due to the presence of chromatin thread, it contains the hereditary information. So these all are the different things that we get the extra knowledge what we have studied in class 8th. Few terms are there: uninucleate, binucleate, multinucleate. So we should know what is uninucleate, what is binucleate and multinucleate. So uninucleate, uni means one. Uni means one, means single nucleus in each cell. Each cell, if each cell contains a single nucleus, that it will be called as uninucleate. If some cells possess two nuclei is there, then it is called as binucleate. Bi means two, so it is called as binucleate. And multi means many, means more than two. More than two nuclei, then it is called as multinucleate. So we should know these terms: uninucleate, binucleate, multinucleate. We don't have to study in details, but you should know these terms so that when you study further, you should not get any problems with these terms: uninucleate, binucleate and multinucleate. Here are few examples: amoeba, uninucleate; protozoans, especially protozoans, the paramecium is there, it's binucleate. Multinucleate plasmodium is there. So these all are the important terms related to the amount of nucleus or the number of nucleus present in a particular cell. Now let us begin with the structure of the nucleus. Before starting the structure of the nucleus, I want to show you the diagram of the nucleus so that structures becomes very clear to you all. So here is the structure of nucleus. So let me explain you the structure first, then I will make you understand the notes. So you are seeing here these all. What does the nucleus contains? There are certain parts. The structure of the nucleus consists of following parts. The first is this part. This part is called as nuclear envelope. It is also called as nuclear membrane. It is also called as nuclear membrane. Now you are seeing here the fluid dotted structures. The fluid structure is there. This is called as nuclear sap or nucleoplasm. It is called as nuclear sap or nucleoplasm. Then you are seeing a thread-like structure. Thread-like network is present. This network is called as the chromatin material or chromatin thread. And after that you are seeing here a ball-like structure is there. A round in structure, ball-like structure. That structure is called as nucleolus. That structure is called as nucleolus. Now you are seeing here, first of all we will study about the nuclear envelope. What is nuclear envelope? So nuclear envelope, you are seeing here their nuclear, this is first, this is second. So this is nuclear envelope. This nuclear envelope consists of two membrane, the outer membrane and the inner membrane. The outer membrane and the inner membrane. Now between this outer membrane and inner membrane you are seeing a gap is there. So this space is called as the perinuclear space or intermembrane space. What is called as perinuclear space or intermembrane space. So our nucleus is bounded by double membrane, the outer membrane or the inner membrane, and between this outer membrane and inner membrane a space is present, that is intermembrane space or perinuclear space. Now you are seeing here between all the envelope a space is there. All round you are seeing here a space is there. So this space is called as nuclear pore. This space is called as nuclear pore. So between each and every envelope nuclear pore is present. Now nuclear envelope. Nucleus is bounded by two nuclear membrane called nuclear envelope, which I have make you understand. The two nuclear membrane are outer membrane and the inner membrane. On the nuclear envelope many pores are present called as nuclear pores. So let me explain you again. This one is the outer membrane. This is called as inner membrane. This is called as nuclear pore. And the space between the outer membrane and the inner membrane is called perinuclear space. Now let us study about the nucleoplasm. Nucleoplasm. Plasm means a fluid and nucleo means inside the nucleus. Nuclear means we are talking about related to nucleus, and sap means a sticky jelly like fluid. So what is nucleoplasm? Nucleoplasm is the colorless dense fluid material present inside the nucleus. And what does it contains? Nucleoplasm or nuclear sap contains chromatin thread and nucleolus. What does it contains? Chromatin thread and nucleolus. Chromatin material. Chromatin material. Chromatin material is what? It is a thin thread-like network present in the nuclear sap or nucleoplasm. When this thread network gets condensed and breaks into small pieces at the time of cell division, it is called as chromosomes. And these chromosomes contain what? These chromosomes contains the genes, and genes are what? Genes are the segmented portion of DNA, and these genes are located on chromosomes, and they used to contains the hereditary informations from one generation to another. Now next, chromosome is made up of what? Chromosome is made up of two components, DNA and proteins. So now what is DNA? Deoxyribonucleic acid is called DNA. So chromosome is made up of two components. Remember that, it's a very important part, that is DNA and protein. Now nucleolus, one of the most important part inside the nucleus. Nucleolus is not bounded by any membrane. Nucleolus is not bounded by any membrane, and nucleolus is rich in RNA and protein. Nucleus is the most important function of nucleolus is it is called as the site of ribosome formation. And what does the ribosome used to do? What does ribosome's function? Protein synthesis. Ribosome is called as the factory of protein synthesis. So ribosomes are produced where? Ribosomes are produced in the nucleolus. So it is called as site of ribosome formation. Nucleolus is called as site of ribosomes formation. So these all are the parts that we have studied. Till now we have studied the four parts, that the first is nuclear envelope, second nucleoplasm, third chromatin materials, fourth nucleolus. So these all are the parts that are the main parts of the nucleus. which used to help to make the structure of the nucleus. See this diagram. All the parts in this diagram of the nucleus what we have studied are very clear. You all have to draw this diagram of the structure of nucleus. It's very important. Outer membrane, perinuclear space, inner membrane, these all three makes the nuclear envelope. Nuclear pore is there. Nucleus, chromatin material or chromatin thread, nucleoplasm, all the parts are very clearly shown in this diagram. Just you have to draw it and submit it. You have to draw in your classwork copy where you are writing the notes of the nucleus. It's very clear. Wherever you write the notes, you should draw the structure there. And in the homework, when we used to give the notice that you have to draw the diagram of this, then you will draw in the homework copy. But now you have to draw in your classwork copy, notes copy. Now let us discuss about the function of the nucleus. What does the nucleus used to do? We used to know, but again we should know the functions. Genetic information. What is genetic information? How this nucleus help us to get the genetic information. So nucleus contain all the genetic informations because chromosomes are present there. Not only for the cell, for the whole organisms. Genetic informations for the whole organism, not only inside the cell, for the whole of the organism. Now second function is control center. It is also called as the master of the cell. And what does the master used to do? Master used to control all the activities whatever the performing in the particular cell. So nucleus also controls all the cell metabolism or cell activities. Whatever the functions that are going inside the cell will be controlled with the help of nucleus. Now the third function of the nucleus that it takes part in the formation of ribosomes. Previously in the structure also we have discussed that the function of nucleolus is what? Nucleolus function is to help in the synthesis of the ribosomes. So the one of the function is the synthesis of or the formation of ribosomes. Fourth is it regulates the cell cycle. It helps in the cell division process. Now the last function, the fifth one, it brings about the growth of the cell by directing the synthesis of structural proteins. Whatever the growth is done, protein is also synthesis inside the cell, and it is on the order of the or by the help of nucleus only. All the activities, whatever the activities are going inside the nucleus, all whatever inside the cell, all are controlled by whom? By the nucleus. So these all are the certain functions that related to the nucleus. Once more you go through it. Student, this is your assignment work. Your assignment work consists of 6 questions. You have to complete these questions. The first question is, what is the chemical composition of cell wall and fungi? Second question, state the function of chromosomes in a cell. Third question is, name the functional unit of DNA that carries genetic information. Fourth question is give the term for the incipient nucleus of prokaryotes. Fifth question, why is nucleus called director of the cell? And my sixth question and the last question is, what would happen if there is an absence of cell wall in a plant cell? Now students, you all have to answer this question. This is your assignment work and you have to submit it as per the time is assigned by your teacher.